Good morning, everyone. Something extraordinary might be waiting for you outside, the walls you've been hiding behind, and it won't find you if you stay where you are. What I'm sensing right now is a powerful invitation from life itself, asking you to step back into the world, to open yourself to possibility, to put yourself in the path of the unexpected. There's a chance that the breakthrough you've been praying for, the connection you've been hoping for, the opportunity you've been working toward could be closer than you think. But it might require you to actually show up in the physical world instead of waiting for magic to knock on your door. If you've been isolating, hiding, playing it safe by staying in your comfort zone, the energy around you might be trying to tell you that it's time to move. Let me walk you through what I'm picking up on, because this isn't just about leaving your house randomly. This is about understanding that miracles often require participation, that blessings meet you halfway, that sometimes the universe arranges synchronicities, but you have to be present to experience them. There's a strong possibility that you've been in a period of withdrawal. Maybe you've been hurt and needed time to heal. Maybe you've been overwhelmed and needed to retreat. Maybe you've been focused on internal work and that required solitude. All of that is valid and necessary at certain times. But what I'm sensing is that you might be staying isolated beyond the point where it serves you, that your retreat has turned into hiding, that your need for safety has become a prison, that you're avoiding the world not because you need more healing time, but because you're afraid of being disappointed, rejected, hurt again. And I understand that fear. The world can be brutal. People can let you down. Putting yourself out there requires vulnerability and courage, especially after you've been through difficulty. But here's what I'm picking up on very clearly: the miracle that's trying to reach you can't find you if you're locked away from life. The person who's supposed to meet you can't cross your path if you never leave your house. The opportunity that could change everything can't present itself if you're not in circulation. Miracles need a meeting point. And right now, that meeting point might be asking you to get out of your familiar space and into the flow of life again. Drop a if you've been isolating longer than you probably should. Now, let me talk about what this miracle might actually be, because I want to be clear about the energy I'm sensing. This could be a person, someone who's supposed to enter your life in a significant way, a romantic connection that has real potential, a friend who becomes family, a mentor who opens doors, a collaborator who shares your vision, someone whose presence shifts your entire trajectory. But you might miss them if you're always in the same small loop of home, work, home. If you never go to new places, try new things, put yourself in environments where you could meet people outside your usual circle. This could also be an opportunity, a job opening you hear about through a casual conversation, a business idea that sparks from an unexpected encounter, information that reaches you because you happened to be in the right place at the right time, a chance meeting that leads to something you couldn't have planned or predicted. It might be an experience that shifts your perspective, something you see, feel, or witness that changes how you think about your life, your potential, your path forward. An event that reminds you why you're here and what you're capable of. A moment of beauty or connection that breaks through the fog of routine and wakes you up to possibility again. Or this could be about reclaiming your vitality, Getting out of the house might be the miracle itself. Moving your body, seeing new things, engaging with the world in ways that remind you you're alive. Breaking the cycle of isolation and low energy that keeps you stuck in patterns that don't serve you. What I'm sensing most strongly is that whatever this miracle is, it's connected to movement, to expansion, to you breaking out of the small container you've been living in and allowing yourself to take up more space in the world. And it might not announce itself dramatically, it might come quietly, subtly, in a way you could easily miss if you're not paying attention. A brief conversation, a flyer you notice, an invitation that comes at the last minute, an impulse to go somewhere you wouldn't normally go. The miracle might be in your willingness to follow those small nudges instead of talking yourself out of them. Comment ready if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone for what's waiting. Let me talk about what might be keeping you inside, because understanding the resistance can help you work with it instead of being controlled by it. You might be dealing with social anxiety, the thought of being around people, making small talk, navigating social situations might feel exhausting or overwhelming. Especially if you've been alone for a while, re entering social spaces can feel awkward and difficult, or you might be carrying shame about where you are in life, about what you've been through, about not being where you thought you'd be by now. And that shame might make you want to hide until you've fixed yourself or achieved certain things that make you feel worthy of being seen. There could be fear of disappointment. You might have gotten your hopes up before and been let down. And now you're protecting yourself by not hoping, not trying, not putting yourself in situations where you could be hurt or rejected again. Or maybe it's just become a habit. Isolation can be comfortable once you get used to it. It requires nothing of you. You don't have to perform or pretend. You can control your environment completely. And breaking that pattern requires energy and intention. You might not feel like you have. What I'm sensing is that all of these reasons are understandable, but none of them are actually serving your highest good right now. They're keeping you safe in ways that are also keeping you stuck. They're protecting you from potential pain, but also from potential joy, connection, growth, and breakthrough. And the miracle that's trying to reach you might be asking you to choose possibility over protection, to choose life over safety, to choose showing up imperfectly over hiding perfectly. Let me be specific about what getting out of the house might actually look like, because I'm not suggesting you force yourself into situations that feel genuinely wrong for you. This could be as simple as taking a different route on your walk, going to a coffee shop instead of making coffee at home, saying yes to an invitation you would normally decline, attending an event that interests you even if you don't know anyone there, trying a new class, joining a group, showing up somewhere consistently enough that you become part of a community. It might mean traveling somewhere you've been wanting to go, even if it's just a day trip to a nearby town, even if you go alone. The act of moving through new environments opens you to new experiences and encounters. It could be about reconnecting with people you've lost touch with, reaching out to friends you've been avoiding, accepting invitations instead of making excuses, showing up for the people in your life instead of retreating into solitude. Or it might be about engaging with your local area in new ways, exploring neighborhoods you've never been to, trying restaurants or shops you've been curious about. going to parks, museums, libraries, spaces where people gather and life happens. What I'm picking up on is that the specific activity matters less than the energy of openness you bring to it. The miracle isn't necessarily at a particular location. It's in your willingness to be available to life again, to put yourself in the flow, to trust that something good could happen if you just show up. Drop a if you're willing to say yes to life again, even when it feels scary. Now, let me talk about timing because the energy around this feels somewhat urgent. I'm not sensing that you have to do this today or you'll miss your one chance forever. But I am picking up on the possibility that there's a window of opportunity that's currently open and might not stay open indefinitely. Maybe there's an event coming up soon that you should attend. Maybe someone is available right now who won't be later. Maybe circumstances are aligned in a particular way that creates an opening for something to happen, but that alignment is temporary. What I'm sensing is that if you keep putting this off, keep waiting for the perfect moment when you feel completely ready and comfortable, you might miss what's trying to reach you right now. Because here's the truth, you're probably never going to feel completely ready. There's never going to be a perfect moment when all your fears are gone and you feel totally confident about putting yourself out there. Readiness comes through action, not before it. You become comfortable by doing the uncomfortable thing repeatedly until it becomes familiar. You build confidence by taking risks and surviving them, not by waiting until you feel brave enough. So the invitation might be to move before you feel ready, to act in spite of the anxiety or resistance, to trust that you'll figure it out as you go rather than needing to have everything sorted before you begin. And if it helps, remember that this doesn't have to be a permanent change or a massive commitment. You can try going out more and see how it feels. You can experiment with saying yes and adjust if it's too much. You can take small steps and build from there. But you do have to start. You do have to break the pattern of isolation and create some momentum toward engagement with life. Let me also address what might happen when you do start putting yourself out there, because I want you to have realistic expectations. The miracle might not happen immediately. You might go out several times and not have any profound encounters or breakthrough moments, and that's okay. You're building energetic momentum. You're signaling to the universe that you're available. You're creating opportunities for synchronicity to occur. Sometimes the miracle is in the third coffee shop you visit, not the first. Sometimes it's the person you meet at an event 6 months from now who becomes significant, not someone you meet next week. Sometimes it's the cumulative effect of showing up consistently that creates the conditions for breakthrough, not one magical outing. So don't get discouraged if things don't shift immediately. Keep showing up, keep being present, keep choosing engagement over isolation. What I'm sensing is that your consistency in getting out and being available will create a energetic shift that attracts what you've been waiting for. That your willingness to participate in life will activate possibilities that were dormant while you were withdrawn. And you might not even recognize the miracle when it first appears. It might look ordinary. It might seem like a coincidence. It might not have dramatic music playing in the background announcing its significance. But looking back later, you'll see that moment when you decided to go out even though you didn't feel like it, when you said yes even though it would have been easier to say no, when you showed up even though you were anxious. That was the moment everything started to change. Comment momentum if you're ready to create movement in your life again. Now, let me talk about what this might mean for your energy and your overall well being. Because getting out of the house isn't just about finding external miracles, it's also about creating internal shifts. Isolation can create a kind of energetic stagnation. When you're always in the same space, seeing the same walls, doing the same things, your energy can become heavy, stuck, low vibration. And that heaviness makes it harder to attract or even recognize opportunities when they present themselves. But movement creates movement. When you physically move your body into new environments, you also shift your energetic state. You expose yourself to different frequencies, different people's energy, different possibilities, and that can lift you out of the stagnation and into a more alive, receptive, magnetic state. What I'm picking up on is that you might notice a significant improvement in your mood, your motivation, your overall sense of vitality just from breaking the isolation pattern. Even if no dramatic external miracle occurs, the internal shift might be profound enough that it feels miraculous in itself. You might find that ideas start flowing again, that your creativity returns, that you feel more hopeful, more curious, more engaged with your own life, that the depression or heaviness that's been sitting on you starts to lift as you reconnect with the world. And those internal shifts create the foundation for external opportunities to land on because opportunities go to people who have the energy to receive and act on them. Blessings flow to people who are in a state of openness and availability, not to people who are energetically closed off and withdrawn. So, getting out of the house might be the miracle in itself, not because of what you find out there, but because of who you become through the act of showing up for your own life again. Let me also address the social aspect of this, because part of what might be waiting for you is connection. Human beings are not designed to be isolated. We're social creatures who need interaction, belonging, community. And while solitude can be healing and necessary, prolonged isolation can actually damage your mental and emotional health. What I'm sensing is that you might be craving connection more than you're admitting to yourself. That underneath the comfort of being alone is a loneliness that's affecting you in ways you're not fully acknowledging. And the miracle that's waiting might be as simple as friendship, as meaningful as finding your people, as profound as experiencing the relief of being seen, understood, accepted by others who get you. You don't have to become extroverted or force yourself to be someone you're not, but you might need to create some balance between solitude and connection, between protecting your energy and sharing it, between the safety of isolation and the richness of relationship. Drop a if you're ready to open yourself to connection again. As we move toward closing, I want to leave you with some practical guidance about how to approach this invitation to get out of the house. Start small. You don't have to completely transform your life overnight. Just commit to one outing this week, one event, one social situation, one new place, and see how it feels. Follow your genuine interests. Don't force yourself to go to places or events that don't align with who you actually are. Go where you're curious, where you might naturally meet people who share your values or passions. Be gentle with yourself. If you go out and feel anxious or overwhelmed, that's okay. You don't have to stay for hours. You can leave when you need to. This is about building capacity gradually, not pushing yourself into situations that feel traumatic. Notice the small moments. The miracle might not be dramatic. It might be a kind interaction with a stranger, a beautiful sunset you wouldn't have seen from your house, a feeling of aliveness that reminds you why it's worth showing up. And trust the process. Trust that your willingness to step out of your comfort zone is already shifting something, even if you can't see the results immediately. What I'm sensing most strongly is that life is trying to meet you, but it needs you to meet it halfway. That the miracle you've been waiting for might already be forming, but it needs you to be in position to receive it. And that position isn't hiding in your house hoping something good will randomly happen. It's out there in the world where life actually occurs. May you find the courage to open your door and step into possibility. May you trust that you're safe enough to be seen. May you discover that the world has been waiting for you just as much as you've been waiting for it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember that miracles favor the brave, the ones who show up, the ones who try, the ones who choose life over fear. You've been in your cocoon long enough. Maybe it's time to see what happens when you spread your wings. Stay open, stay brave, stay in motion, and get ready because the moment you step outside your comfort zone, you become available to everything that's been trying to reach you. Your miracle is waiting, but it needs you to show up for it. I don't sell futures, I build architects. No predictions, just the raw truth for the tough ones. Stay magic, stay in the now.